Will Griff here for Smashmouth Radio. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. We appreciate you. Are we getting you out of class or what?
No, I actually finished school today. Took my last exam this morning, so I'm done.
You are done and ready. That's good for you. What a relief now. What will the coming days in summer have for you?
Probably just a lot of training, honestly. I wanted to make this commitment before summer. That way I could focus on the senior year with all my teammates. I thought it was only right for them just because we kind of grow up together, and this would be our last season together. So I knew I wanted to go the past couple of weeks. So, I was like, I might as well go ahead and announce it. That way I can just focus on this senior season that we're getting ready to have.
Was it a no-brainer for you? Was there a lot of thought put into this, or how was your decision reached?
There was definitely a lot of thought into it, but at some time in the recruiting process, I just knew Alabama was going to be a place for me, and me and my mom talked about it several times, and we came to the conclusion that 100% it was going to be Alabama. So I guess that's kind of how it came down.
And what was the decision-making process? What were big factors for you?
I guess it was really, really close to home. That was a big factor. My family could come pretty much and watch me anytime they wanted to. I have a lot of cousins that live in Pelham, which is about 15 minutes away from Hoover. My grandparents actually live in Athens, Alabama. So a lot of my family is here in Alabama, which would be really, really easy for them to come watch me. Coach Banks, the best special teams coordinator in the country, has a really good track record at putting guys in the NFL, especially at A&M. Pretty much all the guys got a chance in the NFL, and then being able to be a part of the dynasty that Coach Saban has kind of created. I thought it'd be pretty sweet when I'm 45 or 50, kind of telling my kids when they're watching this is history, and looking back and saying, hey, I was a part of that. So those are, I guess, kind of the three biggest reasons.
Now, you're aware of the woes involving Alabama kickers, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Is that exciting? Is that something to be wary of? How did that even come up in conversation or thought?
It's definitely come up in conversation a few times. I guess I kind of say I use that as motivation, just because there's not a lot of guys, kickers at Alabama that have succeeded. There's definitely a few that have, but not many, and just kind of put myself in that conversation is kind of a motivation for me.
And then you hear your coach, Chris Saban, throw out those things. I'm assuming he knows you can handle that, and that doesn't make you nervous. It kind of reminded me of Trent Dilfer talking about Tua Tagovailoa. He's just throwing out all these superlatives and not even thinking about it. I mean, that doesn't make you nervous or bother you.
Right. I mean, it's definitely humbling to hear those kind of things from him. He's done a lot for me, and I think a lot of him. But, it doesn't add any pressure to me. I'd say a lot of the pressure I have is me putting it on myself just to go out and perform all the time. But, yeah, for sure that doesn't really put any pressure on me.
So why do you think you respond to pressure good? Because he was telling us yesterday, I don't know if you heard it or not or watched Twitter, but he was saying things like you were there as a sixth grader and you wanted to compete with the high school guys and could have, and you kind of were ticked that you had to compete with these other, sixth, seventh, eighth graders. So it seems like that's kind of in your DNA.
Right. Yes, sir. Just there's not a lot of guys that start at such a young age like that. And I think starting really young like that has really helped me. Just kind of a lot of the pressure situations I've been in, feel like I've kind of handled them pretty well. And, there's a lot of guys, a lot of kickers in college are guys that started in high school, and just giving me that advantage that I actually started kicking when I was in the third grade. So just having a lot of that experience has kind of not made me feel any of that pressure.
Will Reichard, our guest, the latest commit to Alabama as a kicker, and just a amazing story here. Now, I know your father passed tragically with pancreatic cancer, I think, if I remember correctly. just a couple of years ago. Obviously, a motivating factor for you and something you had to deal with and probably will deal with the rest of your life. Just how impactful was that to staying close to home to your mom and just in your life, what he meant? Because there's that great picture for folks that haven't seen it of your dad kneeling when you're just a little tyke out there on the football field. Just a crazy,
yes, sir.
Great picture, you know?
Yes, sir. I mean, it definitely means a lot. My mom's had to go through a lot, obviously, these past 2 years, and just knowing that I could be here for her, could come any weekend if I wanted to, if she needed me, or she could come to campus if she needed to, or even on a weeknight if I needed to drive over real quick, I could do that. Knowing that was really a big factor. I think if my dad were still here, that factor would kind of be taken away. I mean, I'd still want to be somewhat close to home, but it makes it a lot bigger. I guess with his passing, I just kind of want to make him proud every day. So a lot of the work I do is for him. He grew up kind of on the field with me. Every day we'd go out to the field to hit balls. He was basically my best friend, and I'm kind of the one who got me into kicking. So, I mean, most of the kicking I do is kind of, I guess, for him, basically.
Yeah. And what was it about kicking? Was he a kicker himself? Or, I mean, that's a unique thing to do. Or what made you gravitate towards kicking?
Actually, I grew up a big-time soccer player. I joined football just because I wanted to, be a little bit more tougher. I love the game. And we had our kicking tryouts like most youth teams do just to see who can kick it the furthest. And I was naturally really good at it. And he was like, son, if you want to play college somewhere, I think this is your best bet. So kind of, I guess, recognize it from a young age.
That is very cool. So he would go shag the balls, or I guess you'd have a big bag of balls.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He'd go out there and help you, right?
Right. Yes, sir, for sure.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about going out there and competing against the best kickers. That's got to be something that sticks in your mind and also gives you great confidence when you're, traveling across the country to, compete and be the best you can be.
Right. Yes, sir. I mean, it's I guess really huge that kicking is a lot different than any other position. Just because I guess I'd say recruiting wise, it's a lot like a quarterback. A lot of coaches want to see you in person before, they'll think about putting you on their team. Just because film can be really deceiving as a kicker. But going across the country, I guess I've developed a lot of relationships with a lot of the top guys. A lot of the top kickers in our class I'm actually really good friends with, and guys that are living somewhat near the area. We train a lot together, so that's huge, just knowing it's kind of like a brotherhood, I guess you could say.
There's no doubt. And the fact that J.K. Scott was there, Skylar DeLong now, and they've mentored so many kickers. Chris Saylor, what is it about him that brings out the best in you? What makes him the best?
I think he's really good at evaluating guys. He actually kicked in college at UCLA, was an All-American there, and then had his shot in the NFL. So having his experience and then being able to evaluate and teach all at the same time is something that makes him the best.
So what do you want to study? Do you have that figured out yet? I mean, I know you got another year of high school and everything, and you've got time, or do you have that in your brain yet?
I want to study somewhere in the business area. I don't really know specifics yet, but somewhere in that realm, I guess.
I got you. It's a good school to go to for that. Will Reichard, our guest here, the #1 kicker in America, committed to Alabama, our guest here for a few minutes. Is that weird when you hear #1 kicker in America to you? Or is that, that's good for that?
It was weird at first when I was ranked #1 as a freshman, but it's been a while, so it's not really weird. I guess it's kind of become a reality, and I've kind of pushed myself every day. Try to make sure I stay up there.
And getting back to your dad, anything specific he did, or was it just the time? And you said he was your best friend. Was it just the time he spent with you as a dad does, and that's why? And obviously, as you look back now, having lost him, at an early age, at age 53. But I'm sure just those memories are so strong to you and really probably enhance him with you. I bet you can probably hear him saying things when you're lining up for a kick or something. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if you do or not. Right?
Especially in the recruiting process, I kind of trying to think of what he would say to try to help me decide for the right school. I guess kind of his voice helped me a lot going towards Alabama. But, I mean, for sure, all those memories we spent together. I mean, he basically would do anything for me. He looked up, and he wasn't even a kicker himself, and he was probably could have been one of the best coaches if people would have gave him that platform, just because he would research it all the time, watch videos, study it, just to try to make me a better kicker. So he was just that kind of dad that would do anything for his son.
That's awesome. And what a great model for you one day to do that. So give us the keys to kicking for you. Chris kind of told us your keys, says you're kind of an average size guy. You've gotten bigger and stronger, but you're not overwhelmingly large like a Daniel Carlson or anything. So what gives you your power? Because he was talking about how powerful your leg was. In your opinion, what do you think it is?
I'd say my leg speed. I have really, really fast feet, which really is a big factor in kicking. I have good leg strength. I mean, it's not like fantastic, but it's good. My technique is really, really good. That's something I pride myself on, is always trying to improve myself. Pretty much every week on something I can fix. I feel myself every time I go out to kick and just try to work on something there. So I guess those are the three biggest things that help me get my power.
It's really like a golf swing, isn't it? I mean, you got to work on it every day.
Yes,
I bet
sir.
you're probably walking in the house and you stop and do a leg swing, you know? I mean,
right. Yes, sir. Sounds about right.
Yeah, to keep it going and all those kind of things. Is it easy now to focus on the summer and your senior year? You won a state championship last year, obviously, with Hoover and Josh, to get that out of the way and just go? Do you expect an onslaught of schools to continue to call you, or are they wasting their time?
I'd say they're wasting their time. I'm 100% knowing that Alabama is where I want to go. So, I mean, all the schools that are going to keep calling me and Coach Saban have already kind of talked about it. He's going to kind of help me with that, kind of telling them, hey, look, kind of need to move on because this is where I want to go. I don't really want any more distractions. Kind of want to put my head down and work hard because I'll be enrolling in January. So these next 6-7 months are going to be crucial, just so I can come in and compete for the spot right when I get there.